everyone. Welcome to another great podcast. Today we have a special guest. He's the one who urged actually everyone, I think, 8 years ago to buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin was $1. And we will definitely understand if people wanted to buy at that moment or not. But definitely his life changed a lot since that moment until today. Hello, Jeremy. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in the 555, staying alive here in Dubai, loving it. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much. And once again, congratulations for the event that we have been invited to participate a few days ago. This great event of yours in Dubai.
Yes, it was a meetup, right? That everybody it's free meetup, right? For people to come and so forth and just meet me and a few other of my friends that are into the crypto space. So it was an awesome event.
Thank you so much. It was a great one, and we hope you will do some more because we are very interested to find this kind of great information from someone like you, and obviously from the guests that you always bring on board. Okay, for many people that still might not know you, even though I don't believe so, but let's imagine that there might be people not knowing you, especially outside the crypto world. I would like you to introduce yourself a bit so you can explain something related with your background, how everything started, when you started this journey, and why did the shift happen? Because we know you have been a developer for many years, and you were doing some investments in gold and other stuff before the shift happened.
Yes, I've been a software developer since I was 11 years old. My first computer was a VIC-20. And that was had 5K RAM. Just so you understand how 5K RAM is, it's like an email would wipe it out. In fact, two of the 5K was used for basically for the operating system. So yeah, I only had 3K left. So that's 3,000 bytes or 3,000 characters in total with the computer. That could hold. That's it. Amazing. How time has flied. Now we got I don't know, terabytes. Terabytes.
Everything changed in a different form, and things started to move smooth now.
Exactly. And so I've been a software developer all my life, and then I realized how money was a scam, and money is a system to transfer wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. And I got into gold and silver, and I knew that I had to tell people about this scam because you weren't taught this in school on purpose because they wiped it out from school and education. Because I remember back in the days in the 80s, I was noticing prices were constantly going up, and I asked my parents, why are the prices going up? And they were like, oh, it's greedy businessmen. I'm like, I don't think that's the reason.
This is how they perceived at that moment. Yeah,
exactly. And so I said, there's got to be something wrong with. There's got to be something special about money, right? Because that we don't know, right? And I was right. I just didn't know what it was, right? I went looking for it as a child, right? And I couldn't find it, but that was on purpose.
we're actually I mean, I think this is how they wanted us to to have the mindset.
Exactly. So people don't know that about money and how it works and how it's this big scam against us. And so when I realized that, I had to start doing a YouTube channel explaining this to people. And then somebody came to me and said, "Hey, what do you think about Bitcoin?" And I looked at it, source code. I didn't look at the source code at first. I just looked at the website. I thought, "Oh my God, this is a big scam, right? There's no way you can solve the double spend problem."
Okay.
Yes. This was March of 2011. March of 2011.
Okay, this is what you told at the beginning, right? When you first saw everything.
Yeah, just the plain website, right? I was like, no, big scam. There's no way you can solve the double spend problem. Here's why: because you can't have a digital asset that can't be copied.
Yeah.
And so I looked in this, and I said, I wrote back to my viewer, right? Because he messaged me on YouTube. That was when YouTube had a messaging system. Said, no, this is a big scam. I'm going to read the source code and prove to you this is a scam. And I went through the source code, went through the code. I went through the white paper, and I was like, oh my God, this is for real. This is going to work. it woke me up. And this was March of 2011. Everybody thinks I told people to buy in 2013. Actually, that was just one of my videos that just blew up, and everybody mentions that I told you to buy Bitcoin at $1. But in fact, it was March of 2011 that I did a video after I realized what it was. I said,
Wow.
In that video, I said, every once in a while, something comes along that makes poor people rich. This is one of them. And that I went through, explained why it was so good and how you'd be able to transfer your money anywhere without having to declare it, because, hey, I've come to Dubai. I didn't have to tell anybody how much Bitcoin I had, right? I went to the United States. I didn't do that either, right?
True.
So you can move your wealth around instantly anywhere in the world without having to go through a third party.
But in that, how did you knew in that moment that this is going to change everything? What made you say? Well, actually, what made you urge people to buy at $1? What was your mindset? What was your vision? How did you knew or felt that this is going to be something very big? Only by reading the code and that's it, the white paper?
Yes, and reading the source code. Here's why.
Okay.
Because I studied monetary history as well. And I learned that, hey, if we continue down this path, we're going to go through despotism, right? The way it's always happens. We destroy all of our society every single time because people just don't know what's happening.
The cycle, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so this will break that cycle, because I know that, for example, the money that we use is bad. The money that, if we use Bitcoin as money, it will be 1,000 times better. Not only because it's no one can stop you from using it. You can transfer it anywhere from. That's just one of the cool features. You can transfer it without anybody stopping you, right? You can keep the money to yourself, so that now that if you don't pay your taxes, right, the government comes and shuts down your bank account. You're guilty, and you have to prove you're innocent. No. Now with Bitcoin as money, now you have to be you're innocent and proven guilty, right? because they can't freeze your account, so they have to come and prove that you didn't pay.
And nobody ever knows if you might have a cold storage or something similar, right?
Exactly. So there's so much advantages to this, right? Not only you're transferring an asset back and forth to anyone without anybody stopping you, but also it's programmable. So think about this. What's possible in Bitcoin is similar to what was possible when we first invented electricity. When we first invented electricity, all we could think about is turning on lights. Yeah. That's it. But the application...
That's the core, actually, of it. Yeah, true.
Exactly. But the application of electricity is way more. Just turning on lights, right?
So basically, this is the analogy that you are making between electricity and Bitcoin. It actually makes
Bitcoin,
because Bitcoin,
But the only way for electricity's application to shine is that a lot of people have to use it. A lot more people to use it.
Yeah, of course.
The same with Bitcoin. Once it gets to a certain tipping point of usage, it opens up a whole new can of worms of things that people can build that never existed before. And so that's the crazy thing.
Because of its applications, right? Because of the way and actually. That's
exactly.
That is
because one that Bitcoin can exist. For the first time ever in the history of all of our money that we've ever had, money has always been associated with persons.
Yeah.
Right? It was always connected to a person. But now this type of money can be connected to a thing.
Wow.
So a thing can manage it.
Wow. Yeah, true. It makes a lot of sense. And I think this is a huge difference, because you can attach that that technology product, right, to some things also, not only to humans. Wow, that's really incredible. But let's speak a bit also. Let's change the paper and speak a bit also about NFTs, because now we have this called new technology, which is called the non-fungible token. What do you think about NFTs. What is the difference between NFTs and crypto? And how do you see this other market, but almost similar, in the next future? And the ability of NFTs as well.
You can't have NFT without crypto. That's a lot of people don't realize.
So, yeah, indeed.
They're like, I don't want this crypto stuff. I'm like, you know, you need crypto to buy NFTs.
Yes, sir. Otherwise you can't. Indeed.
Right? It's hilarious,
Okay.
and it doesn't. It comes into existence because of Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin, this is an offshoot of Bitcoin's power, right? Because now you have ownership, digital verifiable ownership of something, of an asset, which was considered money, right? Bitcoin's its job to be money. But why not have verifiable digital ownership of a piece of artwork? Because that's what it is. Basically, you have a system of verifying that you own that artwork, whether it's physical or digital, doesn't really matter.
But the big question here is this the only purpose of NFTs, just to be an ownership certificate for a digital asset, you think?
Not only is because not for only for digital assets, it can work for physical assets. So for example, right, how do you know that who's the owner of the Mona Lisa? Well, it's the person who has a certificate, the Mona Lisa, you could say, but there's usually with artwork, there's usually a certificate of authenticity which is attached to the ownership. So who has that certificate is really the owner of the artwork. That's what you use. That's how they go by. Now,
okay,
those certificates, right, can be destroyed. They have to be reproduced and stuff like that, and they can be actually fake, falsified, right? When it comes to physical artwork. So, for example, someone could steal the art, falsify the certificate, and sell it to someone else, right? And saying that it's not stolen, right?
And it's not so with NFTs.
Yes, exactly. And what's even beautiful, like for example, somebody could produce a fake piece of the art, steal the original, so that they give the one person the fake one, but take the original and sell the certificate. Well, let's just say if you have an NFT, now you know exactly who's the owner. So when you find, let's just say the person who's the owner, right, of the NFT that matches the real art, and he realizes that the art that he's got is fake. Now he can report that is fake, and wherever the real one is, he's the owner, and so he can still sell that certificate, which is a verifiable certificate that no one can forge, to someone else, and they'll get the art. That art, whenever it gets found, belongs to them.
Okay, but what if but even if they do the airdrop to someone else, or if they transfer the NFT to someone else, you still see on blockchain, right? How everything was written from the day one. Am I right?
Exactly. You see who had it last, and that actually sometimes even increases the value of the artwork, right? To see that, oh well, this person had it. And you can see the history of the art. So that's another bonus part of
because
NFTs. You can see a track of everything that happened and who had it last, and no one can BS you on saying, oh yeah, well, Leonardo DiCaprio had this art.
Because you see
no. You see that's the case.
It's an interesting concept. Yeah, it is a popular idea also that Bitcoin influences the NFT market. What do you think about that? What is your point of view regarding this?
Well, Bitcoin is a separate asset from the NFT market, because one, big NFTs run on Ethereum. So Ethereum is another offshoot of Bitcoin, just a separate. Yeah. It's basically a separate thing than Bitcoin, because one thing that Vitalik said is it's not money. Ethereum is not money, and for good reason. It's because
okay, a smart way of marketing, I would say, but interesting. In the same time, he made a good point.
But he did it for a good reason, because The reason why is because it's centralized, more centralized than Bitcoin, and it has to be because of its design and what it has to do. It has to do complex computer application or execution in order to exist. So it always needs a computer for Ethereum to exist. Bitcoin does not need a computer for it to exist. It's just math. You can just figure out the math on with a pen and paper, right? In order to figure out what the community.
I remember all these words that you said at your event. You said the exactly same words, and those are stuck in my head since and that was the first time when I heard about this difference, and I honestly agree that I had no idea, and I think this is incredible if you ask me personally, because from this perspective, I mean, Bitcoin is here when Ethereum is here, and I don't want to be rude. I love Ethereum also, but only from this perspective, Bitcoin does not belong to any kind of system to function and to have continuity. And I think it's all about continuity, if you ask me. Okay,
yes, exactly.
Yeah. A great question here, of course, if you want to share with us. Do you have any NFTs? Do you own any NFTs yourself? We are curious, what NFTs do you own?
Yes, I have some NFTs finally. I only started buying like 2 months ago. Oh my God. I'm like, I don't know why. I kept saying, no, it's a bubble. When it started, I started realizing NFTs was the next big thing, right? Back in 2020, August of 2020, when the market were around, $250,000 a day being moved around. And I said, well, the only problem is, what do you buy? Which artwork is going to do well? Like, come on, how do you figure that out? Right? I didn't have any kind of metrics in order to figure out what would be the next big thing. Zero.
And
so that was a problem. I never got any until just a few months ago. I started buying, and I got myself, into smaller NFTs. I have a bunch of NFTs. If you go onto my Twitter profile, you can see, or you can see where my what's it called, my address, and you can see all my NFTs there. You can just head over to OpenSea and make sure that that's me. I think it's the Davinci J, the real Davinci J15. I think is on Twitter. I mean, on OpenSea is where I am at now. I think, I've had that account since August of 2020, and I didn't even set up a username and stuff like that. I should have used my Davinci J15 way back then, but I didn't. Somebody else stole it, of course. So yeah.
No, I was curious if you own some like Bored Ape and this kind of super very well known.
No, I don't have any of those. Like, for example, me and Carl were set up to buy what's called the CryptoPunks. Yes, CryptoPunks is what I was looking into. I said, okay, Carl, these CryptoPunks, they're overpriced. Right? Let's buy them when the market comes down. A week later, the guy FOMOs in.
Yes, so in the end, you kind of felt that thing also. We were curious, actually, not only me, but our community as well. We are curious to understand when you invest in NFTs, or someone at your level, when you do this kind of NFT investments, what do you look after? Utility, artwork, community, maybe some other...
Community and utility. Because honestly, right now you can...
Right, okay.
Yeah, looking for artwork, you need community and a decent piece of art, right? Both of those things. Because if it's a good piece of artwork and you have a large community, because it can be the best artwork ever, but no community. It could be even the worst artwork ever. And still, if you have a large enough community, it will do extremely well. So that's the key thing for artwork out there, is what you're looking for when you're trying to find, hey, which artwork piece, what art piece, just the art piece should I get into? And if it has no other utility except art, then that's what you need to look for, in my opinion. Now,
No, I agree as well. This is also something that I am taking in consideration myself as well. But the problem that I see nowadays is that there are so many scammers and so many rug pulls and so many problems, especially in this NFT space. So I don't even know. Would you have any maybe things that you could share with us on how to avoid these scam pages or these scam projects? Even in the crypto, there are so many, right?
Oh yeah. For example, you got to be careful. Don't go and click free mint. Oh, that's the worst thing you could ever do because they could actually rob you of everything you've got. Don't touch any NFT that somebody airdrops you and you don't know how it got there. Leave it alone because it could be an NFT that will wipe out your whole account. Right. So yeah, it's a scary situation out there when it comes to Ethereum and NFTs. You have to be extremely, extremely careful.
But how can they? I don't know. I personally don't know. How can someone scam you by doing a free mint or free airdrop just because you connect with your wallet, right?
Because it's an execution of code and you don't know what that code does. So when you when you connect with your wallet and you accept the execution and it says, okay, well, you need to send this much Ethereum, obviously, because you need to pay for the execution, that begins a process of doing whatever you want, whatever it wants to your wallet.
I think this should be something. No, but I'm actually scared right now because I think of what you just said. But I think this is something very important that someone must do in the future, must implement an antivirus or these kind of security systems for blockchain to be more protective with new users, especially.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is that what they should have is a standardized set of code, executionable code. Like for example, you know how there's an ERC20? Well, that's just basically a code, execution of code. And ERC 721 is the NFT, how to create a generalized NFT, execution of code
Okay.
of how the NFT will operate. Well, they just need an ERC, whatever they want to call it, whatever number they want to call it, that says, okay, this is the minting of a specific asset by following these set of parameters, right? So it'll mint it this way, it'll take this much, it'll take this percentage, it'll take this, and it'll show everything exactly what you're doing. And so if it's not one of those ERCs, the wallets, obviously the wallet software will say, hey, you know what? You're about to execute a code here that's not ERC compliant. You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, like so now it makes it makes a lot of, it will double question you. Are you still sure that you want to do that? But
they could take everything you've got, right?
of course, and this is something that it really happens. A friend of mine lost $65,000 on a phishing website or something like that, if I'm not wrong, because he was asked to log with his wallet, and not even 30 minutes later, he was wiped out. He had nothing there. So I think if we can have something like this, would be really important. Now we know about the Davitar, if I'm pronouncing well. You are about to launch your own collection, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Let's share a bit about your project, because I think this is something very important, and I'm also curious myself what's behind there, what is being cooked.
Well, yes, the Davitar project is just the bonuses for my audience. Basically, it's just for my audience. A small amount of avatars for my audience yes.
Okay.
So they can gain bonuses like access to me, right? Special access to me, special access to events and so forth, and things that I'm going to be a part of. Also giveaways, right? I'm going to be doing giveaways to my small community of 915 owners, so that they always keep engaged with by holding a Davitar, and yeah, it's going to be a great.
Is this something similar with the project that with VFriends, Gary V's project? It sounds quite similar, like a collection made on what you are actually doing, what you have built during so many years of your career, like your ecosystem, right? Giving access to that ecosystem, right?
Exactly. So yeah, we'll have like, special events. I'll do special like, meetup events online with them and the Davitar owners and say, they can have direct questions and answers with me and stuff like that. And yeah, exactly. So if they have a Davitar, maybe right, we can, and if they show up in any of my events, right? Like for example, my meetup events, I'll maybe take them out for lunch, right? Say, hey, come out for lunch for us and stuff like that. So
that's something very beautiful also, and congratulations. When do you plan to do it, to launch it? To where can we see details and everything?
Well, it's at Davitar.com. If you want to actually find out when we're launching it, just put in your email and we'll send you that information of when we're launching it. So head over to Davitar.com today and yeah, just provide us with your email or join the Discord group as well.
Okay. Do you want to give any other informations about the project, like price things or maybe some other specific things that you are planning?
No, we're just we're gonna keep that under our hat. Right, there's quite a few things that have been cooked up, right? We're going to be with giveaways on special NFT giveaways. Whenever I get into some sort of NFT, we're going to give away some of my NFT collection. So it's gonna be fun.
So we don't even know the launching date, right?
Not yet.
Stay tuned on Discord, guys. Stay tuned. Okay, many great things coming. Okay, one last question, because this is my curiosity. I'm in Dubai right now. I have just moved here, so my curiosity is like, is Dubai the blockchain capital of the world? Because it seems that this is what Dubai became lately. Most of the people from crypto and NFT are right here, right now. Right?
I believe so. I believe it is the blockchain capital of the world. I think we can see this is the place we're going to have all of the crypto people coming to it, because capital is treated properly here, right? Wherever capital is treated properly, people go. Like that's where capital goes. And since there's so much capital in crypto, it's coming here. And the Dubai could end up being, the New York of all the financial world, right? If they continue down this path, because when crypto takes over, everything that happens on Wall Street, everything is going to be plugged into Ethereum. Everything, whether it's stocks, bonds, or options, they're all going to be running off of Ethereum. Why? Because it's 100% secure, open, and nobody can defraud the system. Unlike New York, they're always getting caught committing fraud.
So, cracks in the system. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, true, like you said. Okay, I think this is it. I think this is more than enough, and I don't want to waste your time. Once again, I'm honored, and we are honored to have you here. We will definitely catch up with you for later announcements when your project is about to be set to launch, so we know more about that. And thank you so much for joining us. And I can't wait to come at the next event and hear those great news. And I actually invite everyone to follow you and to join whatever you are crafting, because what you do is really with passion and love. And I believe that this is the most important thing in general in life.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.